Hey, this is Shaquestra, Voices from Wise Women. I'm glad you're here today, and I have some fabulous women that are going to be here with us, some great sisters. One does herbalist, she does herbalist, she's an herbalist. One does colonics, and Nefikar does dancing. And so these are sisters that I have worked with, me and help keep me healthy and strong and beautiful. And so we're going to talk about health and beauty. So, before I start, I always like to talk about how I prepare my space. So I have my blue candle lit, which is for communication. I sage my space. I also have lavender, have my crystals, and also my singing bowl. So before we start, we like to do 30 seconds of meditation to bring everybody into the room and to make sure that your spirit is in the room with us as we have this show, so these sisters will be able to answer the questions that you have. You can also go into the comment box and ask questions to us. We ask that you also go to Earth Mama Network and share and like us. And during the week, we have a lot of different programs, some great programs. So today we're going to start now with our 30 seconds where we just kind of bring ourselves into the room, quiet ourselves down so that we're all able to hear what is going to be said to us, and we'll be able to take it into our spirit. All right. So it just allows us all to calm ourselves down and moving around and everything. So now we are all centered and ready to begin. So I pulled the card for today, and today's card said, I am safe. It's only change. We are always going through changes. God is change. And so we just have to, it's not so much the change as how we respond to the change, because there's always changes in our life. And on the calendar, it says, no matter how happy I am, I understand that I can always add to my level of joy. So even though you're happy, you can always be more joyous, right? All right. So today, to me, to the side, to the top, to my left. I have left and right issues. I always say that. I have left right issues, right? So Tamika is at the top. So Tamika's my herbalist. And so Tamika, can you please introduce yourself to us?
Yes, my name is Tamika Mosley. I'm a
Okay.
U.S. veteran,
Okay.
published author of two books. The first book is called Sickle Cell: Natural Healing: A Mother's Journey. My next book that was published 3 months ago is called Healing from God's Medicine Cabinet. I am a holistic wellness consultant and a sickle cell advocate. And my passion in life is to help people understand that they can reverse a majority of chronic illness that they're faced with in their lives today by just depending on plant-based foods with energy and also herbs, minerals, and vitamins.
Good, thank you to me. And I have to tell you about her. She's fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. She got me on the road to getting better. So now there's also, let's have Mo. Mo is the queen of colonics. Love this sister. Love this sister. So can you please introduce yourself, Monisha? Oh, gotta unmute your phone. Unmute. Okay.
Got it. Now you can hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So I just want to say thank you so much for the invitation and inviting us all here to share who we are and what we do. My name is Mo, and I am the owner of Moya Body Care, and I'm also the practitioner. I've been offering colon hydrotherapy for a little over 13 years. And I literally started from taking one class to understand what was going on with my body. Um, I originally started my company out of understanding how to heal my skin. Unfortunately, my father was exposed to Agent Orange before I was born, and he transitioned due to skin cancer. And so as a result of that, I had challenges with my skin off and on through my school years. Didn't understand until I really started reading and understanding more about melanin, cleansing, diet, water, etc. And that path led me to colon hydrotherapy, and I haven't looked back since.
Good, good. And my good friend, Nefakar, please introduce yourself. Oh, don't forget to mute your phone, unmute your phone.
My apologies. Greetings, everyone. My name is Nefrika. I am an African dance instructor. I have been for over 30-something years. Also practice doula and also alcohol and other drug counselor trainee. And I'm glad to be back here once again.
All right, thank you. And make sure you mute your phone afterwards, so we won't have the static. Great, thank you. So when you get ready to speak, you gotta unmute your phone and then mute it back. So tell me what, let's see, beauty in our beauty and health go hand in hand. So Tamika, when you have a lot of women that are coming to you, and mostly older women, can you talk about some of the things that you're seeing with women as they get older in terms of health and needing to have herbs to kind of make them have more energy or sleep at night? Or what do you see some of the common factors that older women are coming to, wise women that are coming to and seeking assistance from you?
Yes, a lot of the things that I'm seeing in older women right now today is that people lack of diet as well as the essential minerals and vitamins, because we live in a time where our crops are depleted. They're sprayed down with pesticides and herbicides and Roundup. And so there's little left in the food today, if people are not buying organic, non-GMO, because again, that's expensive. And so people just resort to just buying, just regular food. So what I'm seeing is the diets are definitely off. People are definitely eating the wrong types of foods. Like, people are still buying the white flour, which is horrible, bleached, not the bleached. People are still using table salt, which is using pink Himalayan salt that has 84 plus trace minerals. They may still be using white sugar, which is poison. We should be doing coconut sugar or monk fruit sugar. Same with the breads, the 100% wheat, poison, because of all the gluten.
Audience, make sure, get your pen and paper out so you can write this down now, because people give you some good nuggets. So go ahead.
Right. Just pretty much eating all the wrong things, just because, we think that it's the healthiest thing to do. The artificial sweeteners, people love artificial sweetener, but all these things linked to cancer, they're linked to health issues, they're linked to all types of problems. The food dyes. So our diet is definitely off. And then as far as supplement goes, we don't know a lot about why we have to supplement. For example, taking D3 in African Americans, period. Being deficient in D3 alone leads to 17 different types of cancers, heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, Parkinson, gout, just a slew of things. And the issue with that is because we have melanin in our skin, the only way to get the proper amount of D that we need is we get it from the sun. But because of the melanin, it blocks it. So we don't absorb it. And therefore there's been so many studies that confirm in D3. And so this leads to so many different types of chronic illness. And I'm going to give you a case in point. One of my clients, her A1C, she's diabetic. Her A1C is 11. And so when I started her on the basics, and what I call the basics are going to be, because before we do anything.
You froze up a little bit. So you say you started with the basics. The basics are what now?
Okay, the basics are, number one, probiotics, because we have to make sure we have good bacteria in our gut first. before we do anything. If the good bacteria is not there, no matter what we eat, no matter what we drink, no matter how healthy we eat, it won't 100% absorb for our benefit, because 80% of our immune system is found in our gut. So if we have weak immune system, we have poor gut health, that opens the door to so many chronic illnesses. Okay. But the basics for me will be probiotics, definitely a vitamin D, D3. Okay. When we take a D3, vitamin K2 and magnesium must be present. It must be present, because the job of the K2 is to regulate the calcium that's already inside of our bodies to go where it's supposed to go, where it doesn't build up in places and form calcium, calcification, where you have to have surgery because it's going in all the wrong spots. And women have fibroids and ovarian cancer. Well, that's because calcium is just stacking up and not going where it's supposed to go. So it's just a lack of diet and lack of essential minerals and vitamins. Mm-hmm. But back to the client who had diabetes with 11 A1C, right. Just taking the basics for 1 month. We didn't really change our diet at that point because everybody is in different places with diet. You know, some people are ready. Some people are not ready to make that change. Right. But one thing we can do is start taking these supplements, which is still food, and they're just food in capsules. Okay. So she took the basics and went back in 1 month, and her A1C fell 4 points. Wow. So she was just amazed. Yeah. So, you know, she's deficient in D3, could be deficient in B complex, deficient in iodine. Iodine is a big one for women and men and everyone, but iodine was stripped from the foods in the 80s. Now, we still have a few foods left with iodine in it, such as cage-free eggs, corn, strawberries, lima beans. But iodine is so critical to our health, to regulate our thyroid, our hormones. And when we're deficient in iodine, that leads to prostate cancer, thyroid cancer, breast cancer, stomach cancer, hypertension, diabetes. So they have come and just kind of depleted everything that God created and just kind of made everything fakeness, you know, fake food, fake milk. So we're just eating all the wrong things. So the major things is just poor diet and not taking the right supplements to help maintain and prevent against all these chronic illnesses. Right. And I would say myself, when I went in and was tested a couple of years ago, my D3 was depleted. I didn't know. And so the doctor put me on all this. I had just, you know, just tons of D3. I had to, you know, I'm out in the sun or whatever I should. But she was like, you have none. So I was like, whoa. And then I went back years later, then it was the iron that was so low. But you had me on the D3 and iron and all that stuff. So now I am feeling fabulous. So I appreciate that. So I want to ask Mo a question. So Mo, she's talking about the herbs and everything. So how does the colonic, how does that fit into all of that when you're talking about having optimum health?
Definitely. So everything that Tamika just mentioned is absolutely true. I couldn't nod my head in agreement enough. Most of the time when clients come in to see me, they are depleted on all levels, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, on top of having a very acidic diet, on top of having minimum amount of water in their system. But what we don't understand is that our bodies are over 85% water. So if you are depleted emotionally, physically, and spiritually, on top of having an acidic diet, on top of having minimum water in the body, on top of taking a medication, which most people walking around are on 2 different types of medications. And we have to understand that medication is made in a lab, meaning that it's a chemical, which needs water to be activated in the body. But if the body is dehydrated, it can't be activated. So you have all these things piling up in your system. And another thing that we have to understand is that our digestive system from mouth to anus is about 32, 35 feet long, give or take a couple of inches here and there. But our colon itself is as tall as you are, and it's 2.5 inches in diameter, empty. but our colons are never empty. Our colons are always processing something. So can you imagine all those items that I just mentioned in a dehydrated colon? Our colon is the same consistency as the inside of our cheek, so that information, not just food, but information is able to pass back and forth in between the cell walls of the colon. But if there's all this stuff just sitting there, there's no communication to your bloodstream. There's no communication to your uterus. There's no communication to your brain. Everything comes to a slow screeching halt. Now you have fibroid cystic tumors. Now you have adult acne. Now you have cancers. Now you have skin rashes. And people are like, I don't understand. I eat clean, but you're not pooping, and you're not drinking water, and you're drinking, you know, high amounts of caffeine and soda and all this other stuff. So when you take a person like that and you bring them here to my office, the first thing that I do is focus on hydrating the body. So there may not be any release the first, second, or third colonic, because I have to hydrate it. In order for things to move, it has to be saturated with water. That's how our cells communicate. If there's no water, things are going to get stuck and they're sticky. And I always share with people in regards to water intake is that, let's just say, God forbid, you get into a car accident, right? And in order for the medical facility to help you, they have to draw your blood. But if you go in there with an acidic body and they draw your blood, it's going to give them a false reading about what's truly going on with you. It's only going to read what you've been putting in your body for the last 3 weeks, which is sugar, carbs, this, that. So they're going to treat you falsely. You see what I'm saying? So when you come in to get a colonic helps to rebalance. A colonic helps to re-educate your body on releasing versus holding. In a stagnated body is a perfect breeding ground for disease to flourish. But we're not built to be static. We're not built to be just sitting still. That's why we have joints and our bodies are able to move, including our colon. Every time you put something solid in your mouth, regardless of what it is, if it's a solid, you should be having a bowel movement at least minimum 4 hours later. Like, that's the minimum. If it's a whole day later, then you're severely dehydrated and constipated. Your food should stimulate movement of all of your organs. Food is not just to feed your hunger. And that's what we have to understand. Food is medicine. Food is to make you feel good. Food is to keep aging at bay. Food is to keep disease at bay. Food is to help you procreate. Food is to help you procreate physically, a child, or business-wise, or get your credit together. Whatever it is that you're trying to create. But that's what.
How much water should we be taking in a day?
Now that depends. It depends on if you're on medication. It depends on if you just had a surgery. It depends on if you just gave birth. It depends on if you're breastfeeding. So a breastfeeding woman is going to need a different amount of water than a woman that is 22. It just depends. So what I like to say to my clients is, don't think about the amount of water that you're trying to get in, but think about how you are getting the water in. And so what I share with my clients is, when you sip on water like you're sipping on wine. So you're going to put the water in your mouth, let it sit on your tongue, roll it around 2 or 3 times, and then swallow. What this does is a couple of things. A, it requires you to slow down. It requires you to slow down and be present and make sure that you are present and understanding how you're drinking your water. Digestion starts in our mouth first, not in our stomachs, not in our colons, not anywhere else, but digestion starts in our mouth. So if you bypass that mechanism, by the time the water gets to your stomach, your body is like, nobody gave us an invitation to process this. What is this? And it won't process it. And then it'll move down to your bladder, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And next thing you know, you're peeing all of this liquid out, taking all of your minerals with you. versus allowing the water to be absorbed into your cells, saturate your body, create bowel movements, dilute the systems, dilute the cells, dilute any trash that's in your body, and push it out of all the 5 channels of elimination, which are your colon, your kidneys, your lungs, your skin, and then the 5th for women is our uterus. But we don't think about water as being as important, so we guzzle it, meaning that you're forcing your bladder to work overtime when you don't need to.
Wow. So now, Nefakar. So you got Tamika's got the herbs, and then Mo's got the colon. So talk a little bit about, because I know you do a lot of hiking and all that, and how does that physical and how does that fit into all of this?
Okay, so I think the first part is, I think about when we were growing up as children. We come home from school, and what would we do? We would go outside and play. So movement. And as we got, you go from elementary, you go outside and play, then junior high and your bicycle, then your sports and all that. And then after school and after we graduate, and then we end up coming home from work and we sit down on the couch with the remote or with the computer or the iPad, and we stop moving. And what the 2 ladies just explained, it's like, the only missing element is the movement. So I think it's important that every day, or at least every other day, to the best of your ability, is you have to move. And people often forget, they're like, well, I don't want to dance because this, but walking is the norm, but we have to move. And then there's so many women I know my age who are on medications and on sleeping pills, on anxiety medication. And I think because we don't have that outlet like we did when we were younger, and how we would, even though we didn't know we were getting rid of stress when we go outside and play and race up and down the street, it's like now that we're older, we don't have any way to release that stress. And it's like Sister Mo just said, things just pile up, and stress does the same thing, so you have your mental, your physical, your spiritual, and deep in your soul. So without that, without properly relieving your stress in some kind of way, that's when our diets are affected. That's when we start eating out of boredom. And then that's why we need something to calm our anxiety, because we haven't released that stress. And then that's why we need a sleeping pill, because we have all that stuff bottled up inside of us. So I think movement, dancing is fun. That's just something that's very much a part of our culture. But without that movement, whether it be walking or hiking, or even if you just get up in the morning and stretch at night, but movement is key.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about anti-aging. So everybody's getting creams and what have you. And I think it starts with the inside and then goes outside. That's just me personally. But Tamika, can you talk about some herbs that can really help with like if there's such a thing as anti-aging?
When you talk about anti-aging, as far as stress or just keeping our skin beautiful, or
stress, aging, all of that, because I think that's all part of it. Last week we talked about growing old gracefully. So what is it that women can do?
Yes.
I think they all should come to you first of all and get a consultation. I think they should definitely do a consultation. But is there something that should be in our diet in terms of herbs? Because you talked about the
Yes.
K3 and whatever. There's something that we should be taking once one gets, because as you get older, your body changes. So once one gets past 50, is there something we should really be honing on to make sure that we have within our system?
So a few things that I would definitely say is, once we get past the age of 40, coenzyme Q10, which is an important
kind of breaking
our
up.
body already makes, but
okay, hold on a second. You're breaking up a little bit. So everybody on mute. I want to make sure everybody's on mute. You're breaking up a little bit. So try to
Okay. So coenzyme Q10, CoQ10 is something that our body naturally makes. Of course, the older we get, the more we lose, and
Mhm.
we're not getting it from food. CoQ10 is really great because it actually fuels our cells. It gives us energy. It protects against heart disease, against strokes. It protects our brain. Another thing is collagen. Okay, our whole entire body is collagen is what holds our bones together and makes us strong. So, like my mom is here with me now. She's 83, and I have her drinking the collagen twice a day. But collagen is great not only to strengthen your bones, but also for your digestive, for your immune system, for allergies, for inflammation. So collagen is
What's in
something I would
collagen?
really, really. So collagen is like when you remember like bone broth, like
Mhm.
centuries ago, our ancestors would make bone broth from the beef bones. So inside of those bones are these amino acids that when you cook the bones, they're extracted out. And those benefits is what heals the entire body. So bones just have these amazing, amazing benefits. So you can buy it in a powder form, or just old school, just buy the beef bones, grass-fed beef bones, and you roast them and you put them in a crock pot and you slow cook it for like 12 hours. And you can put your
Oh,
parsley.
Mo's got some. Yeah, Mo's showing some collagen.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Very, very
Oh,
important. Very
everybody's
important.
got. I don't have
Yeah,
any.
that's what I have that one. Yep. Perfect. Perfect. I love it.
So you put
Yes.
in a smoothie or what?
Yeah, you can. You can. With me, I just warm up a little water and pour a scoop in and just drink it up.
That's,
Yeah, that's the way I do mine. Now, another thing, I'm sorry, as we age, our mind, our brains, we tend to start getting forgetful, dementia. Again, it goes back to probiotics because our gut is linked to our brain. And we always want to make sure, and if you don't have probiotics, sauerkraut is amazing for the gut. Sauerkraut will give trillions of probiotics. So we can definitely ferment food. We don't always have to get a supplement, but for the people that want to stick strictly with food, sauerkraut and fermented vegetables are a great way to fuel your gut.
okay.
But there are a few things that I want to talk about for stress because we are in this COVID-19 that there all this, oh my gosh, this is just horrible, everything that's going on, how we're in house arrest and everybody is so scared and I look at this, it's just a virus. I reversed over a dozen of my clients coronavirus who tested positive, put them on a regimen, and they go back in 3 days and they're negative. So it's so simple because it's just a virus. They're making a huge, someone made a comment in 2018, tuberculosis killed 1.5 million people. No one never said anything about a mask then, but it's like millions died. Millions haven't died from COVID, but millions died from tuberculosis. No one mentioned a mask at all, but it's just when the media tells us something, we move on it. That's all is me. It's driven. Whatever they say, we're gonna take hold to it and just go do it like robots. But okay, let me get back. I get off track real easy.
So what can they do to prevent themselves from getting COVID? Is there something we can have in our system that kind of helps?
Okay, yes. So the number one thing, first of all, it's attacking majority of Black people now, the Black and brown people.
Right.
And when it gets into your body, okay, it's first of all, it's going to attack your respiratory. So you have all these African Americans taking diabetic medication, hypertension medication, seizure, heart disease.
Yep.
One of the side effects in all these medications compromises your immune system. Now, they won't tell you this because they'll never talk about the drug that they make. But one of the side effects already compromise your immune system. That's strike one.
Okay.
The next thing is the virus get into your body And the statistic has shows it suppresses your D3 and your vitamin C. So we already know that African Americans are severely deficient, as you were. You didn't have any in your body. So they can create viruses just like they create drugs. They create drugs to pull important vitamins out of our body. Like when a person take metformin, one of the side effects in metformin depletes all the B12 out of your body.
Wow.
Now, if we don't have B12 in our body, of course we're going to have numbness and tingling and neuropathy, because the doctor would say, oh, if you have diabetes, it will soon lead to neuropathy. I want to say, Mr. Doctor, the only reason it's leading to neuropathy because the drug you're giving depletes all the B12. If you don't have B12 in your body, then we're going to have some nerve damage. That's the only reason.
So we should be taking B12, or is there some kind of herb that we can take that has the B12?
A B complex. So you want to take a B complex to get all the B's. But so with the virus depleting the D out of our body, African Americans want to make sure we're taking D3, at least 5,000 IUs, along with vitamin K2, okay, along with magnesium. Okay. Then we want to take the herbs that's going to boost our immune system and protect our respiratory, such as oregano, cordyceps, reishi mushrooms. These are all natural antibiotics that's going to boost our immune system. So once our immune system is boosted, our gut has great bacteria, and we can drink the bentonite clay, take clay baths. The job of the bentonite clay is to pull and remove all heavy toxins, impurities, heavy metals, Ebola, corona, bacteria, viruses, all out of the body. So if we're doing this and practicing this, the virus cannot survive inside of our body. So case in point, I got a sore throat 2 months ago. Now, clearly, that's an infection that's trying to invade my body. Right. So now I didn't take Tylenol or NyQuil, but what I did, I went and took probiotics. I took 2 Golden Seal, which is a natural antibiotic, because that's what I had at home. I took 2 Golden Seals. I took 2 oreganos, and I took 2 ginger capsules. I did that every 15 minutes, 3 times that night. The next morning I woke up, sore throat is gone. But I went an extra step, because I said, these people putting this corona out here. Let me make sure it's out of my system. Right. So I made a paste with my bentonite clay, mixed it with some apple cider vinegar, and don't ever use a metal spoon. Always use plastic or a wooden spoon, because the job of the clay is to pull heavy metals out. So you don't want to use a metal spoon. I put that clay paste all on my neck, all on my face, and my chest, and let it sit for 20 minutes. I rinsed it off, and I had mucus coming out of my eyes. But you guys, I felt great. Never had any more issues at all. So if it was corona, it got right out of my system, because I put God's medicine cabinet in to run it on out.
Yeah. And she does have a book, so y'all have to get the God medicine cabinet. So Mo, let me ask you a question. So I know that anytime I would have anything in my body and I felt I was sick or something, I would take an enema or whatever it is. So can you tell us, Mo, about how your colonics can really help when someone is ill as well?
Definitely. And I just have to say, I'm like screaming from the back pews, like, yes, finally somebody else who is saying and doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like this platform, this conversation is so needed. And the things that we're all recommending is very, very simple, and you have it at your disposal, mm-hmm. and it doesn't cost thousands of dollars to do. You can get a big container of bentonite clay for $12, which will last you your entire year using it on a family of 4. Trust me, I do this all the time. It's just amazing. But anywho, I'm just excited. I'm so excited. So the thing that I like to share with my clients is that everything that you put in your mouth, everything that you put in your mouth is going to create some type of effect in your body, positive or negative, and it has to exit your body out of one of 5 channels of elimination. There is no way else a way around it. That's just how the body is designed. So if you're putting all of these toxic, fake food, chemicals, prescriptions into your mouth is going to most likely end up in your colon, because all of your other 4 channels are completely filled to the rim. Your uterus can't expel anything because you have fibroid cyst and tumors. You're bleeding like a stuck pig. So that organ is done. Your skin has acne, boils, cysts, dead skin. It can't breathe. So that channel is blocked down. Your lungs, because you've been vaping and smoking and doing whatever, you're not deep breathing and you shallow breathe, that's shut down. Your kidneys, if they're working, hopefully they are working, but it's been so stressed out with alcohol and this and that, that organ is shut down. So the last organ that is trying to pick up and help all of the other organs is your colon, our poor colon is just trying to help. So when I have clients coming in, I get them on the table and I start calming them down emotionally and physically and spiritually with light dimming, some deep breathing, abdominal massage with heat on the abdomen. I have them propped up very comfortable, very easy. They're very warm so that the body can open up and let go. So when I start working on anybody, it doesn't matter if it's an old client or a new client, everybody starts out with a 15-minute soak, meaning that the water is flowing through the colon very deliberately, very slow to soften things up. Then once the 15 minutes is over, I crank it up just a little bit. Now we have things moving out that looks like Elmer's glue, if you will. Like, you know how you can make Elmer's glue like a putty kind of, sort of, but it has a color to it. That color is normally a not so healthy color, like a dark gray, a very, very beigeish color, which means that there is no nutrients being absorbed, you're malnutrient, right? Or it's black. I've seen green. I've actually seen whole medications moving through the tube. And I'll ask the client, I'll slow the tube down and I'll say, did you take an orange pill with an S on it, a white S? They'll go, oh my God, you're psychic. Not really. Open your eyes and look at the tube.
Wow.
This pill is not absorbing at all in your system, meaning that your hydrochloric acid is low, you're acidic, and whatever this capsule is not meant to dissolve or digest because it's a chemical. Wow. So you're paying all this money for this placebo effect, but your body is not even willing to break it down. It's doing you a favor by not breaking its shell and moving out of your system. And people look at me like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. I see whole pieces of carrot floating through, bread, believe it or not, bread. I see it all the time because people are not eating, they're swallowing. They're just gulping down air and they're swallowing. So when clients come in, they have all this air present, thinking that it's food, it's air. And it all comes back to how we are putting things in our mouth.
And we're not chewing. You're saying we're not chewing as well, right?
Oh, no. People swallow.
Okay.
You can go out into a courtyard and just watch people eat. People swallow. They don't eat. They swallow. And we gulp. After the food passes your mouth, there is nothing internal that will break the food down. That's why we have teeth. So the thing that we should be thinking about, we should be eating like a baby. We should already be eating pre-digested food because A, our foods are just crap, number one. Right. B, you don't have the enzymes to break it down. So you're actually doing your body a favor. So if we can, eat foods that are softer in nature, more water-based in nature, slow down while we're eating these foods and consume more rainbow colored food, out the gate, you'll be shifting about 65% of any of your ailments. Now, when you come in to get the colonic, now your body is not fighting with, do I break this big hard piece of food down that's stuck or do I move the poop out? So your body is trying to figure out which way it's supposed to be working here because both are sitting in the colon.
Right. So let me ask my quick question. Somebody's asking, how can they schedule a consultation? So if somebody wanted to come and have a consultation with you, then what should they need? What do they need to do? Do you have them call you or do they email you?
Individuals can call me directly Monday through Friday between the hours of 9 and 6, and Saturdays 9 to 3. Sundays I am closed for everything, consultations, questions. That's my day to myself.
Okay.
And I'm unapologetic about that. And the phone number to contact me is 562-682-0818. You can call me, leave me a message, and say I saw you on Wise Women. I would like to book an appointment, and I'll call you, and we'll go ahead and go from there.
Okay. I have another question for you, but hold on. Tamika, give them your phone number in case they want to reach out to you. For you.
Yes. So if you want to book a consultation with myself, you can definitely visit my website, and I'll put it in the chat, but not sure if everybody can see that. But it's www.ssnaturalhealing.com. And you can call me at 214-608-3101.
Okay, great. Thank you. So Mo,
I do accept text messages and also voicemails as well.
Right, she does, because I'm texting her all the time and emailing her and all that kind of stuff. And she does get back to you. Sometimes I'm just like, oh God, I know it's late, but this is what's going on. So she does get back to you. Sometimes late, I'm surprised she's still up. Mo, quick question. I know that you have an infrared sauna. So can you tell me about that?
Okay, so an infrared sauna, if I had to choose between my family and the infrared sauna, I'm choosing the infrared sauna. I love my sauna. I love my family too.
Yeah, I've never been in an infrared sauna, so explain that.
Oh, it's fabulous. So an infrared sauna, so I'll start from the beginning so that you understand what an infrared sauna is. So when we work out and we are sweating, the body is working from the outside in to cool you down, right? So that you don't overheat and pass out. So it's a defense mechanism to keep you well. However, when you sit in an infrared sauna, the heat is different. You start to sweat from the inside out. So all of your organs create this beautiful pulsation of detoxing once it starts to feel the heat. And then all of this waste starts to peel off of your organs and is pushed out of all of your 5 channels of elimination, first through your skin. Then after you come out of the sauna, you may have to urinate. Most people do, or you may need to have a bowel movement. And while you're sitting in the sauna, what I normally do is put a couple of drops of peppermint and lemon essential oils on a napkin so clients can breathe that as they're sitting in the sauna. I also rub essential oils up and down the spine to open the nervous system up. And then if they're getting a colonic after they sit in the sauna, I do a light abdominal massage with essential oils to penetrate into the uterus and to penetrate into the colon. So when you sit in that heat is pretty much penetrating and massaging the organs so that the waste can completely release.
So can I ask you this? So could I come and take an infrared sauna and then take a colonic, or is that 2 different?
I always recommend that clients do what you just said.
Okay.
Sit in the infrared sauna first for 30 minutes. And a 30-minute infrared sauna session is about equivalent to about 45 minutes of aerobic exercise.
Oh.
So not only, and it's a different type of exercise, you're working the organs, which are normally not worked. So when you sit in heat, you can't breathe shallow. You have to sit up straight and you're breathing. So when you have this movement going on, you have movement internally. Now your body's like, what? We can detox, and you'll start purging like crazy. It's a beautiful experience. Beautiful, beautiful.
All right. So Nefika, let me ask you a question. So I know you do the hiking and everything, but I know also you work with the whole beauty component, because you talk about adorning your body, and there's certain rituals that you do to help with the beauty aspect. So can you share a little bit about that with us?
Well, what I think is number one and most important is that we dress in comfort for ourselves. There's a lot of clothing out there that is real restrictive, where the body can't breathe. And women tend to put on clothing that, to me, it looks painful. So I think it's important that you dress in comfort and also dress in a way that makes you feel good about you. Colors have energy.
Mhm.
You want to carry yourself in a way where you feel good about yourself.
Right.
And then the other part of that is, as women, I mean, we're doing fake nails, we're doing lashes, we're doing, wigs, we're doing the lace front, the weaves. And growing up, when women would put on makeup like foundation, they would, put on like one layer.
Mhm.
Now I watch these tutorials and just, see them. Women are layering their face with like 5 and 7 and 10 different
Mhm.
layers of foundation. I just never seen anything like it. So I think, as the other sisters is talking about everything from within, so I believe that beauty first comes from within. You have to feel good about yourself, because we're putting on so many things on our skin that are not good for us. And I think we need to concentrate on learning how to strip naked. I mean, real naked, from take off your nails, take off your lashes, take off the makeup, and allow your body to breathe, in some of the clothing as well. And just dress for yourself and not dress to attracting others. But we just need to strip down completely naked.
Can you talk a little bit about I was going to talk about the adornments that you wear and the rituals that you use for your gates every morning when you get up? You want to if you share that with us?
Okay, so every color has an energy. So that's what I try to focus on. So we know that our gates, it's like what Mo talked about, also your fiber limiting. So our gates are our eyes and our ears and our vagina and our anus and our mouth. So I had shared this last week. When I pray, prior to prayer, I do ablution. So you go through a ritual of washing these areas to just to clean yourself. That's just a personal ritual that we do. I'm in the Nation of Islam, so that's one of the rituals that we do, far as preparation for prayer. So that's something that I do. And again, I just adorn myself in a way that's going to make me feel good. And I acknowledge the colors of the day, because the colors have energy, rather than, because I used to be in a habit of wearing nothing but black. And one day someone asked me, like, are you mourning? Are you mourning about something? I'm like, And I think, Shaquesha, when I first started hanging out with you, I didn't wear as many colors. And you were wearing all the colors of the day and all the energy. So I believe that colors have energy, and people like, I couldn't wear that because that won't look good on me. And I always say, well, who told you that? Who said that? Who created the rules and regulations to what you can and you cannot wear? So
Yeah, that's what I wanted, to share with women today, that you have to feel comfortable within yourself. And it's so important. People say, oh, yeah, I can't, I never would have thought of putting red and purple together. I just get up and whatever the energy is saying, and I go with the colors of the day too, but I go sometime with the energy. And so I could have all mixed match stuff or whatever, but if it feels good to me, then that's what I go with. And we talked about when I shaved my head, people were like, oh my God, it looks great. I could have never done that. And I was like, I go with what spirit tells me. Just like it said, lock your hair, just like it said, do this, do that. And it just said, like, shave your head. And so I just did it. And so many women have come to me that are losing their hair or whatever, that would love to do it, but don't have the confidence, or they're afraid that their spouse or their significant other or whatever it is would not like it or whatever. But for me, I'm at the point, what you see is what you get. And so I just feel good about it. And so I think for me, I decided, after I heard Tamika on a show with Ro, her talking about herbs and how I knew that there was something going on in my body. I just didn't feel comfortable with it. And so working with her has really helped me. A little light went out. It's really helped me to feel better about having more energy. And then, dealing with my mother who has Alzheimer's is really, really, really hard. Sentiment talk about that one time. It's very, very hard. And so now I have more energy. I'm able to do something. I'm still trying to work with the stress level. And I used to go to Mo all the time, so I don't have some of my healing tools or the teachers around me to kind of help me. So I'm just kind of doing it myself. But I know Tamika has helped me a whole lot with the stress, and then just being able to have the herb keeps me in terms of being mindful of what I need to do in terms of my stress level. So I encourage women that, Tamika's there for a consultation, Mo is there for a consultation, Neferkara is there to talk to you about, because these are women that feel comfortable in who they are. Yes, everything is always a work in progress. So, we didn't just wake up one day and say, oh, this is how we're going to be. It's a work in progress. But as you become more and more aware of who you are, you feel better about where you're going and what you're going to be. So just wanted to share that with you. Oh God, we're getting toward the end. I really would like to have you all definitely come back again and really talk about, because I think each one of you could have your own segment where you could just really talk about. No, you could just talk about the whole thing with Kalani, Tamika, the whole thing with just herbs and Neferkara. So I'm definitely going to have you come back and do a show that kind of talks about it. So can you guys just say, I want to give the community some hope that, I think Tamika did a little bit when she talked about the COVID-19 and some things that we can do to kind of keep ourselves in order, when she talked about, making sure you have the B complex, make sure you have the D3, the oregano oil. Those are things. Mo, I think you can say, keeping your colon clean, I think is important. Watching what you're eating, drinking the water as well. And then Neferkara was, just talking about getting out, exercising, walking around, feeling good about yourself, understanding that everything has energy as well. So I want you all to think about, what is one final word, or what would you like to share with the community in terms of them just feeling hopeful about getting past this whole virus? So Tamika, can you share something with them?
Yes, and I wanted to talk about those herbs for anxiety, because we don't want to go take Zoloft and all these poison chemicals. But there's some amazing herbs that can calm the brain, the mind, bring us down. So saffron, SAFFRON, L-theanine, that's LTHEANINE. You have CBD.
You broke up on
ginkgo biloba.
Can you go back to the second one? You were breaking up a little bit. Saffron, and what's the second one?
L-theanine, L-theanine, THEANINE. And then I mentioned CBD, as also ginkgo biloba, as well as there's something that's called PS100. Now, that's just a short name for it, but it's an amino that majority of our brain is made up of. So PS100 is great to refuel, replenish, and just kind of heal all the brain cells. So these are some really, really great herbs that can just get us, really calm and just, and also to keep our stress levels down, because our cortisol, our hormone cortisol levels, if they're spiked through the roof, that opens the door to all types of chronic illnesses. So these are some herbs that can help keep our cortisol levels balanced. And right quick before I go, I wanted to piggyback on Mo's and the infrared sauna. One thing I tell women is be careful with mammograms. And I saw Michelle Robinson put that in the comment. I love her. She follows me all over the place, just like you. And I love you guys for, promoting me and supporting me. But women need to understand, every time you get a mammogram, they're giving you radiation. And don't we know that radiation causes cancer? So there is something that's called thermography screening that's done with infrared, and women can get that. There's no radiations, there's no side effects. It detects cancer as early as 10 years. And this is the safest route to go. Okay.
Okay, instead of doing the mammogram. Okay.
Exactly.
I'll think about it. I have to give it to you about Okay. So Mo, what would you like to share with us?
Definitely. And Tamika, thank you so much for recommending an alternative, because doctors will not give you an alternative. They will give you the most toxic option first, from the most toxic to the least toxic, and then they might give you an alternative. The key word is might. I just want to point that out. So I'm all about water, literally all about water, however you can get it in. If you're drinking it, if you're steaming it with yoni steaming, if you're sitting in an infrared sauna to create the water coming out of you, or if you're getting a colonic. But I will always promote colon hydrotherapy first and foremost out the gate. If you can have a regular schedule of colon hydrotherapy, like I give myself colonic sessions every Sunday. That's why I don't work on anybody else, because I'm working on my body. Every Sunday I get on my table, and I know this sounds a little odd, but I'm on my table for close to about 2 hours. But I am taking my time, I'm breathing, I'm meditating. Like, it's very deliberate, very intense, very all into me. How many women can say that they do that every week? Not too many women can say that. Not too many people in general can say that, you know? So if you can get yourself on a regular plan of action with your local colon hydrotherapist, either it be once a month, once every 2 weeks, or once every other week, whatever you can afford, get on it and stick with it. If that is out of reach for you, or a colon therapist is not available for you, the next best thing you can do is submerge your body in water. So taking a detox bath, and this is the ingredients for the detox bath. I normally take about 4 to 6 baths in a 7-day period. And I do about 5 pounds of salt every time I do the bath. I don't recommend that you do 5 pounds, but remember, I've been working up to this for a couple of years now. Right. But the ingredients are a whole bottle of hydrogen peroxide, a whole box of baking soda, about 4 to 5 cups of Epsom salt, sea salt, and Himalayan pink salt. Mix it all together, lay in the bath for about 25, 30 minutes and just sweat. That bath can pull out the most sinful things you have in your closet. After you take that bath, make sure that you have plenty of water by your bedside, your cell phone is plugged up, and go straight to sleep. Now, if you want to continue to sweat after that detox bath, put on some sweats with a hoodie, put some socks on, and then go to sleep. You're going to continue to sweat and sweat and sweat. So the ingredients again for that detox bath is 1 whole bottle of hydrogen peroxide, one box of baking soda, and then the 3 salts are Epsom salt, sea salt, pink Himalayan salt, and you want to do between 3 to 4 cups of each. Swirl it around and soak in it for about 25 to 30 minutes. Now, if you have high blood pressure, omit all the salts and only do the baking soda and the hydrogen peroxide. Now, if you want to really amp it up, you can add a couple of drops of your favorite essential oils just to give you that beautiful effect on your nervous system, or to remind you about something beautiful that you really love, and then soak in it. I promise you that bath will change your whole entire life.
Right. And I think I did the same thing, but I use instead of the peroxide, I've done apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
The apple cider vinegar, and then the baking soda, and then the Himalayan sea salt. And then I do like 15 drops of the lavender for that as well. Yes. But it does pull yourself. I mean, it just really.
It really pulls all the emotional gunk out of your muscles. It allows your uterus to soften. You know, as women, we walk through this world with so much anxiety and tension in our lungs and in our uterus. So when you submerge both the lungs and the uterus and your spine, your body has to open and soften. Now your words are a little bit sweeter. Now your intention is a little bit deeper. Now your boundaries are a little bit front row and center versus in the background, because now your throat chakra is open. Now you can speak.
Exactly.
At so many levels. We need to do this again. Yes. I don't want to take up all the time.
Yes. So Nefrika, what would be your final words for us?
My final words would be, we need to get moving. We got to move. You know, you don't have to hike. You don't even have to dance, but start off slowly. If you haven't been doing anything, start with a 10-minute walk. And then like in a few days, add on another 5 minutes, add another 5 minutes on. This is going to help your sleep. This is going to help your stress. It's going to help every part of your life. It's going to calm you down. When you walk, put on a audio book or some calming music. Right. And also watch your intake of your Facebook and your Instagram, and you know, allow your mind to shut down and do nothing, no TV, media fast, and just focus on yourself. Just give some energy to yourself.
Let me ask all three of you. What time do you all go to bed at night?
Well, I try to do like between 10:30 and 11. I don't require a whole lot of sleep. Oh, okay. So I try to go, you know, I'm up every morning at 5 a.m. for prayer. So I try to age between that time. And then I'm on the track by like 5:30 getting my, you know, my exercise in.
See, I want to start doing it, but Tamika, what time do you go to bed?
I need to get like Mo and Nefrica, because my schedule is crazy, you guys, because I'm in the process of building my own business. I'm producing my own products. My probiotics are out. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to order 50 billion probiotics with 14 strains, you can definitely get that off my website. Okay. So yeah, so my next line of products coming out is going to be for COVID-19. So I have vitamin C coming out, cordyceps. I have D3, K2, and magnesium in one bottle. Oh. So I have a lot going on, and it's just me for right now. I may go to bed around 12 or 1 a.m. and then I'm probably up around 7 or 8. And I know I'm working on getting better. I need to do better. I definitely know I need to do better. So I'm working on that.
Yeah, her website is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. So you have to go look at it. So Mo, what time do you go to bed? I think I'm staying up too late.
Well, like Nefrica, I don't the more mature I become in my age, I'm finding that I don't need a lot of sleep.
Okay.
When I'm always cleansing every day. I'm cleansing. Just like Tamika, I take a lot of herbs. Like I think my food content is probably like 10%, and then my herbs are like 95 or 80%. Literally, that's just how I eat. So I normally find myself falling asleep reading around like 1 o'clock in the morning, because I'm a huge book nerd. So I have about 3 books on my bed. And then my partner is also a Muslim, so he wakes up a little bit early, and I wake up to listen. I don't know if I want to join, because I get so much gratification out of watching him. So I kind of do my own thing as I'm listening. But I'm also up around 5 with him, and then we do our own kind of meditation together. So I guess I can say 5 o'clock I'm up, consciously up. And then I do my herbs, my water, and then literally 20 minutes into my day, I'm on the toilet. So
yeah. I want to be able to get up at that 5 and do stuff, and I think I'm up. My mother doesn't go to bed till like 9, and so I didn't have to like calm myself down, and so I'm never sleep until like 1 or 2, and then the next morning I don't wake up until like 9. And I know I need to be up early, but I'm so tired, so I'm just trying to. But I think as we're moving more and more with the herbs and whatever, and I'm finding myself becoming more and more calm. So I think I'm gonna have to really look at that, because I've always wanted to be a morning person, but it seems like I'm a night person. You know, I'm a night hawk. So I just gotta figure this out. I definitely want to get up and work out more and do some other little things. So I don't know, I gotta figure out. But Mo, that partner thing, we gotta have a conversation about that. So that's another. I was like, what? Wait, huh? So it's all. I mean, I really appreciate you all being here and having this great conversation. I wrote some notes down, some things I need to, think about and do and what have you. And I just wanted you to share, because I want people to know there are so many women in the community that are doing the work. And I just want to bring it forth so they can see. And also, your entrepreneurs, your business women, and you've been out here, in the grind, doing your thing, and you're willing to share too. And so that's what I really, really like about you, that you're able to share and then give people little tidbits. But I want people to really reach out to you, get some consultations from you, and let you really help me, because I think we really have got to start working on ourselves, inside, outside. And sometimes it's just a little tweaking. Me, I need a whole bunch of tweaking. And Tamika, I got herbs everywhere now. I told my brother, I got to get a cabinet to put all these herbs in here now. But I'm enjoying them. And now I'm at the point when you said pull back, I'm like, I don't know. Am I ready to pull back or not? But I think that I'm doing better. And so it's really been right. And Mo, I have not been able to have Tom Yum soup. Every time I go someplace, I think about you and I, when you were pregnant with Franklin and what have you, and how we used to go out for that, and how I always, have the soup, and it's not as good as Mo's. It's just not as good as one Mo and I used to get. So definitely got to come to LA and get me a colonic, get that infrared, get some Tom Yum soup. Neferkar got to, reach out and get back to San Diego. And Tamika, Tamika, I don't even know where. I was surprised when you said where you were, because I always thought you lived in Texas or Washington or whatever. So it seems like you're moving around, but it's all good. So yes. I want everybody to really go to everyone's website, follow them. They have Instagrams and what have you. Follow them and reach out to them and get the consultation. So we're definitely going to have them back again. Check my my Facebook, and you're going to see something out where I'm going to have them back again, because each one could have their own show, and I really want him to come back and really expand on how we can really work on ourselves, and as we get older, how we can really maintain ourselves. So thank you very much, and I will see you all next week, and check out Voices from Wise Women. What?